Welcome to another marvelous episode of College Football Showdown. I am the governor of college football. And with me, as always, my co-pilot, Jalen Wilson. Starting off super late today. I fell asleep on the job. I'm bugging B. But Jalen, let's get into like some first thought previews before we start our actual preview segment. Ohio State opens up as 23.5 favorites in their game versus Michigan State in East Lansing.
As they should, honestly. Michigan State isn't that bad, but Aiden Childs has not been that great this season. Michigan State has not looked the best at times, but yeah, they should open up as what you said, 27.5.
It's 23.5. When I look at Michigan State, I look at Jonathan Smith, I look at Aiden Childs. I see potential, but it's work in progress. You feel me? Like, how college football 25 this year. Yeah, college football 25 is a work in progress for many people. I like the game.
For me,
I'm also really good at the game, though. But yeah, for some people, it's a work in process, like progress, the pursuit angles, not being able to play cross, play dynasties, things of that nature. I've been able to see Michigan State once in person. There was that game, back and forth game against Maryland. You can see they got something special. They just haven't reached their peak yet in my opinion.
Maryland lost that game, right?
Yes, and the game that I thought Maryland should have won, but yeah. So yeah, I'm surprised I didn't get fired on my day off here with College Football Showdown. Moon and Jalen was in the studio ready, and like I said, uncharacteristically late. Kansas State opened up as 5.5-point favorites in their game in the Little Apple versus Oklahoma State. Jalen, not really super impressed with both of these teams as of late. How you feeling?
I'm feeling the same. Like, this game is honestly a toss-up, and it's like an ugly toss-up. It's not like, both teams will look like this and that. Yeah. No, both teams will look like both teams have had their struggles. Both teams have had their moments of looking good, but it's just been inconsistent. That's the problem.
I tell you, Big 12 is the conference to watch, I think. Down the stretch, I think we're just going to see a bunch of crazy football. And I think we'll see moments where you be like, okay, this team is starting to take a charge. Oh, suddenly they lose. This team started to take charge. Suddenly they'll lose. Big 12 is going to be super interesting. Baylor opens up as 3.5-point favorites in their game versus red hot BYU. This one confused me.
Yeah, it did too. Why? Didn't Baylor just lose to Colorado? Not get things changed within the game, and
BYU just beat the dog crap out of Kansas State. A team that I had a lot of hopes for. I know Mo has a lot of high hopes for as well.
I really don't get why Baylor is the favorites here, but I don't know. The people in California, Vegas, or whatever, I guess know more than us sometimes. So
when it
comes to this whole betting line and
they know how to make some money, and this may be the game that a lot of people instantly BYU, maybe a game they make a lot of money off of. Ole Miss opens up, and we haven't really talked about Ole Miss a lot this season. I think
they ain't playing nobody this season.
That's been intentional for me. Open up at 17.5 favorites in a game versus Kentucky in Oxford.
They should. Kentucky, listen, Brock Vandagriff cannot throw the ball that good.
They haven't. And they're super fun team to use with college football 25, but they haven't been able to get it clicking in real life.
Yeah, I honestly think this will be like more of like a 24-point blowout. Like, I don't think Kentucky has a chance, honestly. But hey, I thought that against Georgia, and they actually dominate the line of scrimmage in Georgia. So who knows?
So if there's a game, and me and Jalen got this thing that we always talk about with the coach for UConn women says if
Gino Auriemma.
Yeah, Gio Auriemma said if DeMarcus Cousins played, was it Brittany Griner?
Yeah,
he's taking all of the money in his bank account and putting it on Cousins. If there was a game that I felt that strongly about, it's this Notre Dame opening up as a 6.5 favorite against Louisville and South Bend. If there's a game where I'm like, you giving me 6.5 points on a team that I really like, you're gonna give me 6 points. I'm going to take all the money in my bank account and I'm taking Louisville with the spread. Like, that's the game for me. similar to the Baylor game, but I think this one is even worse because I felt like if you looked at the film, Louisville is such a damn good team, and they
Louisville
traveled.
has Louisville. Do I got it in my notes actually?
Mhm,
Isaac Brown,
mhm,
Kwan Brown, Kwan Brown, Duke
mhm,
Watson, each all have over 100 yards.
mhm.
Tyler Shuck has been good this season. Riley Leonard has sucked this season.
Oh,
Like what one touchdown,
whoa,
2 interceptions passing?
yeah.
Like it's not good at all.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. So we got a great game tomorrow night at ACC territory, where the Hurricanes are facing the Hokies, who I predicted will find a way to win the ACC this year. They have not looked good. I
No, them
think
boy might
I
need to
think
find a way to
Virginia Tech
win
is 19
6
and a
games
half.
this season.
Dogs will Miami cover.
What was it? 6.5?
I think it's 19 and a half.
Oh, 19. Oh, dang. I don't think they'll cover.
I don't think they'll cover.
Nah.
I think this game is going to be better. One of those like better than advertised. Miami's kind of been smacking the hell out of everybody. I think this is probably their first true test of the season.
Yeah, I mean, granted, Kyron Jones has 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season, and not Virginia Tech, Miami has forced 8 interceptions this season.
Yeah.
So, I kind of predict that Kyron Jones would throw at least 2 interceptions this game. Yeah, it's not going to be beautiful, I don't think, for Virginia Tech, but 19 and a half, I feel like it's a little bit too much. If they said 14 and a half, I'd be like, okay.
When I look at this Virginia Tech team, and I look at a guy, Brett Pry, I love Coach Speak. He's a Coach Speak guy. I look at Tyler Bowen, and I say, your time has come.
He also understood your question at media days as well. He also understood your question at media days.
He also understand my question at media days, unlike Mario Cristobal. But yeah, Brent Pry, like I said, he's just a phenomenal Coach Speak guy. You can tell he's a son of a coach. You can just tell it 100%. Tyler Bowen, if Virginia Tech don't finish this season 9-3, that means they win the rest of their games but one, and they're flirting with a nice bowl game, that I think that they'll be looking for a new offensive coordinator, because you look at the pieces that they have on the offensive side of the ball. What the hell is going on? Why isn't Kyron Jones making more dynamic plays? What's going on with two? What's Jalen Lane, Daquan Felton? Where are they at? I think you look at this team, you look at the issues that they have, and you look at some of the inconsistencies that they have, and offensively, while I think Tyler Bowen is such a likable guy. Like, I've been on campus, I've been to their practices, I see what type of program that they run, but typically when the expectations are high, like Virginia Tech expectations were so high this season. When I was on FanDuel trying to bet on a team that could win the ACC, Virginia Tech wasn't a team that was clickable. You couldn't click them, because I felt like a lot of people felt like the return of production is high.
Right now it looked like
the schedule was friendly. Yeah, and then right now it's like, are they gonna be bowl eligible? Like, that's truly the feeling that you get. And I think we're going to look, and Tyler Bowen is gonna be the guy. I'm not sure if he'll be back in Blacksburg next year, and that's truly unfortunate. But let's get into the first game on our slate. We got the 19th Fighting Illini. They head to Happy Valley to take on number 9 Penn State Nittany Lions. Both teams are 4-0. Once again, Jalen, you're fighting Illini in a top 25 battle. What is the current temperature for both of these programs? I love when I'm talking to Moon and I'm hearing the buzz about Georgia State, or I'm hearing the buzz about Georgia Tech. You're so close to Champaign. I feel like you're close enough to kind of get the feeling or the vibes of how people truly feeling about this Fighting Illini team. So what's the current temperature in Champaign right now? Like, how are we feeling? You think, are we worried after the huge win against Nebraska? I don't know. Like, I seen you guys beat Penn State a couple years ago. I seen a game last year where you guys had opportunities. I felt like you slowed down their offense.
It was closer than what
you guys couldn't move the ball. Exactly. You guys couldn't move the ball.
I was at the game. Luke Amar threw like 2 picks in the first half.
That was a weird day of college football. That was
Yeah,
also Florida State and
yeah,
played Boston College. There was
Missouri made
another
that
like
game with a kick.
yeah. It was such a weird day of
Alabama
college
almost
football.
lost to South Florida. I think that was the same
Yeah,
day.
that was the same exact
Yeah,
week.
but I
We just
remember it
had
was
a
like
bunch of
first
weird football.
possession of that game last year.
Mm,
I think not Luke Amar, Drew Aller like fumbled. Somebody
mm,
fumbled or threw an interception for Penn State,
mm,
and Illinois got the ball, start moving it well, missed a
mm.
field goal, give them good
Right.
field position. They go down and score. I think Luke Amar threw a
He
pick a couple
struggled. Yeah,
possessions
Lou
later.
Altmaier. I was concerned because
He,
I was like, I think I remember texting you like, yo, is he gonna be the guy? You
yeah,
know, and looking at him this year, like how well he played.
I think it was like 6-0 going into like
It was a damn.
the
It was.
first quarter.
Yeah, it was a
We had
damn
like
good game.
if and we did get on like 4th and 1
Mm,
and like Penn State territory.
mm.
If we get that 4th and 1, we might score a touchdown. We might lead it into the first quarter. It
You
might be a whole
know,
different ball game. I think it was maybe like 13-0 or 10-0. Not 10-0. Yeah, I think it was like 13-0
I,
going into halftime. Like
I saw you all match Nebraska's physicality because we saw how physical Nebraska, was this season. And hey, I know that we don't give the Lincoln fan base, but they've had what a sellout every since the 70s. They have sellouts. You talk about a raucous environment, a big game, top
I was
25
nervous
game.
about that. I was like,
Yeah,
bro, are we gonna be able to handle that? Like, if
the
we're down 2
environment.
touchdowns, we down 10 points. If we down a touchdown, it's like, are we gonna be able
Something
to
don't
handle
go
that?
your way, and it
Yeah.
just looks
Like
like
when we fumbled in that second possession, like I'm like,
mhm. You start to get
yep,
or when
because they
the
went down
missed
and
face mask
scored,
the
took that
missed face mask
lead.
call, which I thought was the
Yeah.
biggest play of the game. I was like, if Nebraska win this game and they win that game on that BS face mask call, I'm like, but
There's
this
another
team
face mask
shows.
call happened right before halftime.
Mhm,
And then that was on 4th down.
mhm.
Then it led to that Dylan Raiola touchdown in the end zone right before halftime.
Yeah,
Like,
that beautiful throw. Yeah, that would. Yeah, you could tell that kid has it. But just to see y'all maintain that, you guys got an extra day to prepare for Penn State. You're just a few years removed from beating Penn State. I believe people are believing in Belima. Like I feel like the fan base is believing. The players are believing. You guys are matching people intensity and matching teams physicality. And I know we haven't gotten a prediction time yet, but when I seen 17 and a half, and
yeah,
of
I thought
course
that was a little
we
crazy.
saw what Penn State did to West Virginia, a team that many of us believe heading into the season will be a really good team. I thought this was disrespectful, especially when you guys had one extra day to prepare. So talk to me about the current temperature in Champaign, and then we'll move over and let's talk about the current temperature at Penn State.
I mean, Champagne, like I feel like we are on like cloud 8 right now, not on
For
cloud
sure.
9 just yet.
Oh, you guys win this week. It's going.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
y'all gonna be talking. Y'all might be talking like 2022 Tennessee, like Tennessee by 50. Like y'all might start talking that type of talk. Y'all win this week. I might gotta
Um,
drive up to Champaign my damn self just to see what the environment is like, man.
yeah. Like the fan base is riding a high right now. Like
Mm,
it's so many fans to be like, yeah, okay, yeah, like it's time to win. Like we're not losing this game. Like,
mm,
um, I seen fans like, oh, yeah, 31-27 Illinois, 27-24 Illinois, and blah blah
mm.
blah. This I'm
And I
like,
know you're
oh,
in a
okay,
couple of group chats too.
yeah.
So
I'm at
what's the
3.
feeling? I'm sure it was probably
They
more
all think we're
nerves,
gonna win. Some people are like optimistic, but lots of people are like, oh yeah,
but it
like
was probably more nerves against Nebraska. I would assume.
yeah.
Yeah,
The Nebraska
especially with
game kind of cleared up
how
the nerves.
Nebraska, how good Nebraska looked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that game just it buys a lot of, like I said, Lou Altmaier, the things that I'm seeing him do. I didn't know he was a dual threat option. Maybe I just didn't see
Oh,
enough
I
of him.
did.
I did. Maybe I didn't see
Actually, at
enough of
times his
him.
leg was better than his arms
Yeah,
last year because he
yeah.
kept throwing
I felt like
interceptions.
at times he was a statue last year though, but this year I've seen him.
No, he wasn't a statue. He just sucked at picking up blitzes, bro. He sucked at
Okay.
reading blitzes.
That makes a lot of sense.
Somebody said the blitz off the edge. That man don't see
Right.
it in his boom. He done.
Yeah. But I actually seen him actively make plays. You were talking about the anticipatory throws. I seen a couple of those. I like you guys wide receiver core. But yeah, let's switch gears. Talk to me about how you feel the overall feeling in Penn State is right now.
I feel like it's same
Mm,
as Illinois for real. They especially feeling confident, especially after Brett Bielema said something about they
But yeah,
whiteout and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. The bulletin board material, which I think coaches should stay away from, because college football is definitely an intentional thing. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's been blown out of proportion?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
more to the quote and everything.
Hmm.
That little, I think it was like Penn State rivals or whatever, took out of the clip.
Right, right. And that's
Which
what they're
didn't
supposed.
surprise me.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
You're just looking for any reason to like play with that extra chip on your
yeah.
shoulder.
Um, but yeah, like I feel like they're feeling good about this win. I
Hmm.
mean, this game, like they've talked some trash. Illinois they definitely talked trash back.
Hmm. As they're supposed to.
Yeah,
Illinois doesn't fear Penn State. It's not like other matchups like we've seen in recent
yeah. If
memory.
it,
Like
if it was Oregon, like I say
right,
right now, we don't think we can beat Oregon. Illinois
right,
fans
right.
do that.
Like
Illinois fans like,
Illinois, but
okay, Michigan, Penn
right,
State, we can beat.
right.
Oregon is like, okay, we
Yeah,
can lose. We
no.
gonna lose a
Yeah.
game at some point. It's
Because you
gonna be
guys,
Oregon.
I've seen you guys being able to out physical. There was a game you guys should have beat Michigan. What was that in 2022? You
We should
guys
be. Yeah.
had Michigan, bro. So I can
That
like
was
what?
actually the game that told me Michigan was gonna beat TCU because we got behind their defense a lot with our wide
Yeah,
receivers, and we were
yeah,
not that great of a
yeah.
passing team that year.
Right, right.
We
Y'all
were
weren't able to
good, but we
connect.
weren't.
So if
We
you've been
weren't
watching this Illinois team over the last few years, you see the Belima effect, and it makes me go back. Because remember, I was like, "Hey, you Illinois fans are a little critical." I'm protective over Lovey Smith. Anybody who knows me knows this. I'm like, "Why are you guys so critical over Lovey Smith?" It's like, "Oh well, if Lovey did that, have been the end of the world." But I see it now. I get it. You guys were just so fed up. You guys were so fed up with
Casey, go
Lovey
look at
Smith.
some box score from Lewis Smith. Day. We allowed it was what is it his third season
Mm-hmm.
there at Illinois? We allowed 63 points like 3 times in one season.
Yeah,
Holy Lord!
he made Graham Mertz look like Joe Montana, my dog.
Yeah, and that was the last season there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So like, but I'm protective over Lovey Smith. But like I said, even if
Good
I didn't
NFL
see it
coach.
before,
Could
I
have
see
got
it
fired
now.
from the Bears, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I thought, and even though hindsight being 2020 is hard to say now, but I thought he should have been given more than 1 year at Houston as well. But Houston gave him the X, and it looks like it was the right move. So, talk to me about the players to watch for both of these programs.
yeah. So the players to watch for Illinois is Alec Bryant, Seth Coleman,
Mm,
both edge rushers for us. They were able to get pressure on Dylan Raiola last week, and they
mm.
were able to make his life a little harder in that
What you
pocket.
guys did in overtime was probably one of the most impressive
Yes,
things I've seen. Like, so what was it like? Fourth and or it was
fourth
like
and like
fourth and a mile, dog.
that's
Like,
the point. It was like 30-42 or something like
yeah,
that.
it was crazy. Just that, and you'd have thought you all were at home, but y'all were just like big in each. It was beautiful to see, bro. It was beautiful football.
Yeah. What else do I have written down my notes? Yeah, we were able to get to them. Oh, yeah, I said Illinois running backs
Mm.
because we got Caden Fagan, we got Aiden Lawford, we got Josh McCray.
It seemed like whoever had the hot hand, it looked like Fagan had the hot hand towards the end of the
Fagan had the
game
high
last
hand
game.
against Nebraska. Khalil
Mhm.
Valentine had the high hand against Kansas.
But that's
Um,
dangerous when you don't kind of know who to prepare for.
yes, but
That
it's
that
also
that
like
bodes
it's
well for you
dangerous
all.
for us because we
Mhm.
don't know who like really will work in this game. Like it's not
Right,
like we have a Nick Singleton who's a key player for Penn State. I have to talk
right.
about like he like we know 314 yards this season.
Mhm.
Um, I believe he has 3 touchdowns. Like we know he's the main back. We know he has a chance to show up every game.
Right.
It's not like that. And that kind of scares me.
Mhm.
So I wish Khalil Valentine would get more. I hope he gets more touches this game. I want to see less of like Josh McCray, even though he's our second leading rusher this season,
Mhm.
or is he our first? I don't know. He might lead some touchdowns for us
Mhm.
though. Him and Khalil Valentine aren't that far when it comes to rushing yards. Khalil Valentine is a true freshman. Um, yeah, so like Illinois running backs and Seth Coleman and Alec Bryant are 2 edge rushers. Those are the keys for Illinois, like key players and matchups to watch for Illinois. Then for Penn State, you have I should have made my freaking font bigger. Yeah, you got Nick Singleton, running back. I mentioned him. But you got Katron Allen you got to worry about. Like I mentioned in the past, Illinois run defense this season predominantly hasn't been good, but we were good against Nebraska, so it gives me hope.
Mhm.
Then you have Tyler Warren and Amari Evans, who are the two leading pass catchers for them. Tyler Warren is tight end. Amari Evans is a wide receiver. Forget his name. The other receiver, the other leading receiver, has over 100 yards. But Warren and Evans both have over 200 yards this season. So it will be interesting to watch them. Yeah, those are some key players. Now, I do think Penn State will win this game, but 17.5 I think is a little crazy.
Yeah, I think 17.5 is bogus. This is probably one of the toughest games for me to predict all year. But in the spirit of not jinxing you all, I will go Penn State.
I mean, pick Nebraska. I mean, pick Illinois against Nebraska, and we won.
I did, and I want to pick Illinois again just based off of what I've seen this year. But give me Penn State by a field goal. I think it'll be a really close, hard-fought game, and it's who makes the mistake or make the play at the end of the game. It's going to definitely be.
I'm gonna tell you, I think Drew Wilder makes more mistakes than Luke Almeyer this game.
I will believe it. Just the way that you guys have played. You guys are playing phenomenally defensively. So let's get into this next game, and this is the game. Top billing this week. We got the number 2 ranked Georgia Bulldogs heading to Tuscaloosa to play the Alabama Crimson Tide. I almost feel that maybe Georgia has everybody where they want them. Where
do they or do they, or
you almost get the feeling, and I want to say, like, what's the current temperature in Athens? Because the last time we seen this team play, we knew that they had a bye, before they played Alabama. Just like Alabama looked impressive in their victory versus Wisconsin before their bye, and playing Georgia. So if you look at the two teams, like Georgia looked really impressive versus Clemson. And then we kind of see Clemson look really well. So it's like, okay, what type of quality win that ends up being? And then we see Georgia in that Kentucky game. They scored 12 points against Alabama. They're going to get the hell beat out of them. You're going to have to score.
Well, will they? It's not like Alabama has been this crazy scoring team this season. Well, at least they wasn't against South Florida, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, they did running up at the end. But what's the current temperature in Athens?
Honestly, I feel like it might be the same for both of these teams. It's like it's like moderate. It's like we won, we performed well, but then we don't. Then we win, but we didn't perform that well. I honestly feel like it's safe because it's like okay, we had these blowout wins against Wisconsin, but we struggled against South Florida, and then Georgia. Oh, we had a blowout win against Clemson, but we struggled against Kentucky. Who can't even throw the ball? Like,
right. And then in the eyes of many people, Carson Beck was supposed to be, in some people's eyes, the first quarterback taken off the board in a 2025 NFL draft. That tone has completely shifted.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hearing him at,
I don't check mock drafts, but it won't surprise me if that man is being selected in the second round at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like I'm starting to see some people give him that Stetson Bennett label. Like, he can be good enough on a great team, but not elite enough to make decent players elite. Is the feeling that I'm seeing a lot of people get. So we typically like to talk about the temperature of teams, and we don't mean like the physical temperature outside, but just kind of like what's the mood. But Alabama, I want to switch gears here. How would you grade Kalen DeBoer's performance thus far this season? I know it's super early in the season, but in my estimation, he's exceeded all expectations.
He's exceeded most of them. Offensive line, at least in that South Florida game, was still a problem, and leaves me a little bit concerned because I'm like, okay, it should be fixed, but
especially when you just look at the pure names, just the talent that they have.
But I'm not mistaken, Proctor didn't play in the South Florida game. That was where they were getting beat. Yeah, I feel like he's done good though. Like I feel like he's met expectations. Yeah, I feel like he's met expectations. Like, man, I don't know, Alabama fans were like, I feel like for the meet expectations, you gotta get to the end of the season though, because Alabama fans are used to championships.
Right.
So
Right.
For to me, expectations for Alabama fans, you got to
Mhm.
wait to the end of the season. At least through the first 4 weeks, I think it's been fine.
He certainly has the opportunity to really get for
I
people
don't know
who
about
adore.
passing though. Passing, I don't know if the passing game has met expectations of what people maybe
Mhm.
thought, especially after watching like
I,
what he did with Penix and Odunze and
right. I
Polk
think,
and
but
McMillan.
after the bye week, after seeing what they were able to do against Wisconsin, they should come out. Nick Sheridan and company should have this offense like a well-oiled machine. Now, I'm going to caution Alabama fans. If Alabama's able to come out win this game, really impressive, and they win by like 2 touchdowns or
Do you think
more.
Alabama jumps up to number one?
Oh, they will. If they win by 14 or more points, they jump up to number one, and then the media hype train goes through the effing roof. They're gonna kick the goddamn. They're gonna kick the doors wide open, and that's scary, especially when you building something and you kind of want to fly under the radar while you're building something special. But I do think this game has that potential to be one of those games where you look at the end of the game and they're like, Alabama's won by like 14. You be like, yo, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? It'll certainly be my expectation. So, um, prediction time. Bama 2.5 point dogs. Jalen, who you got? Actually, I know who you got. Why do you have him? Unless you've had a change of heart in 3 days.
I still got Alabama, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, I'm not sold on Alabama.
So
I'm like,
you're not sold on either program just yet.
yeah,
You would like to see more.
yeah. It's like this game will help me decide.
So you're kind of more sold on a Tennessee than you are
Yeah.
on these two teams, just
I,
based on what
I'm
you've seen this
honestly
season.
might be more on Ole Miss than I am on Georgia.
Really,
Yeah.
that's surprising. That's extremely surprising. Huh.
Keep going. You ain't off the hook though.
Oh, okay.
Um,
For sure, for sure.
uh, yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah. Like, I honestly feel kind of more confident about Tennessee than I do Alabama and Georgia.
Tennessee's running game has been really impressive,
They have.
and their defense I think is better than advertised, and that's just huge kudos to Tim Banks and what he's been able to do. And a lot of that, James Pierce and the linemen get a lot of credit, but I love the players that they got at that second level at linebacker. So I think this is the game where the Alabama media hype train gets started. I think Alabama wins by 10 plus. I would be, yeah. I think they win by 10 plus. I think Jalen Milroe, the Heisman hype train will start after this game. But like I said, I caution Bama fans because a win like that, it looks good. The media hype train starts, but I don't think everybody wants what comes with it. So yeah, give me Alabama 10 plus, man. I'm thinking like a 27-17 or a 34-24. I just think they make one or two more plays than Georgia
Honestly, I don't know if Georgia
or
scores
win a game.
24.
Yeah, that's the scary part is
I don't know if Bama really scores 34.
you don't think so? I think it'll be interesting. It's no excuse for both teams. Both teams should have been able to heal up a little bit with the 14-day layoff. And I love what the schedule makers did. It's beautiful. Like they eliminated all excuses. You both have buys. Be
Mm-hmm.
ready for this date in Tuscaloosa. I think it's gonna be a damn good game. Before we get out of here, Jalen, there was kind of a piece I wanted to talk about. The internet was absolutely on fire yesterday. I talked to Moon. I talked to my guys, Boomer, D Now, and Nino. We talked about this and we talked about a couple of other things. But one thing that I realized is like what's truly the one percenters, because there's things we've discussed on this show that I assume was public knowledge, but a lot of shit isn't public knowledge. Excuse my French. Like Keyshawn Junkins holding out a few games last year
Mm-hmm.
isn't public knowledge. It was stuff that we knew and stuff that we talk about, and you can go back and look at episodes where we talked about these things and we knew. You know what I'm saying? But we truly are in many ways the one percenters. But it's been an interesting storyline in UNLV with quarterback Matthew Sluka decided at 3-0, two big wins, that the university promised him 100K this year, and the NIL collective showed that he was only promised 12K. It looks like UNLV did no wrongdoing. The NIL collective did no wrongdoing. And I don't think Matthew Sluka's agent or whoever the person is that's representing him chose his words carefully enough. But we also, so he decided to take a red shirt year and enter the portal, right? 3 wins in. He's like, yo, 12K ain't enough. This team look like it could be one of the best teams at the G5 rank and possibly go to the college football playoff. And then later on that evening, we seen UNLV running back forego the rest of his season and take a red shirt season as well. But he did state that this wasn't an NIL grab, that this was just he felt like he deserved more opportunities. Matthew Sluka, for those of you who don't know his stats, he had like 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, completed 48% of his passes. The running back,
he is the best passer, if I'm not mistaken. Like
he's had some decent stats. He protects the ball, and the running back was averaging 5.7 yards per carry. So the $1 million question is, what in the hell is going on at UNLV? What side of the fence are you on, Jalen? I just thought this was great news that we saw yesterday.
UNLV is in a weird space because the whole Quinshon Judkins thing, it wasn't as publicized, but this one is now publicized.
Right.
Like,
and now we know for sure that this is happening.
Yeah, like it looks bad on UNLV's part, somewhat, at least for people that support NIL.
Right.
Because y'all want to pay y'all quarterback and y'all 3-0. Y'all look like one of the better teams in Group of 5. Anybody that watches or knows college football for the season probably knew okay, UNLV can be one of the better Group of 5 teams in the country. So it doesn't look good. Side of the fence, honestly, I was like, I don't know, because I can see the university and I can see the player. And I can see both sides being like, okay, the player being like, well, I'm playing this good. We're 3-0.
Right.
I want more money. I deserve more NIL. At least maybe hook me up with a deal.
My jersey is in a bookstore without my name on it. People are wearing it.
Yeah.
Sellout crowds. Nevada is big business, and they happen to be in Las Vegas, which is even bigger business. The schools handle college football as a business. I see nothing wrong with college football players handling this as a business. My issue with Matthew Sluka is that he appears to be, or his reputation makes him appears to be, a liar, because there is nothing that nobody has showed that says he's getting 100K. The NIL collective showed that he's supposed to be collecting 12. The universities aren't supposed to be playing these players. It's supposed to be through NIL.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a third. It's supposed to be a third party, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
And that's where I'm like, is it the university part, or is it the third party's fault?
Right. Now, should have they said, you know what, get them the effing money at 3-0?
At least maybe hook them up with another day. Maybe
not right. Give them something to make them a little bit happy. But then I saw another discussion trending online after this. Is like, will this kid be able to find a home next year? Like will he complete 48% of his passes?
I mean, unless it's a Group of 5 team.
Yeah.
Because I mean, listen, his passing stats ain't all that.
No, not at all.
And
I feel like Michael Allen will be able to find a home, and I'm glad he was able to clear the air. It was like, hey, this is nothing but, I feel like my production has been great enough to get more snaps. I'm not getting more snaps. I respect it. But taking a red shirt year and forgoing your entire season. So what do you say to the people that say, hey, these players are selfish? They're letting their teammates down. What do you say to that? Because I feel like college football is a business. It's been a business. These universities handle it as such. I feel like these players should be allowed to handle it as such. I don't like the messiness, but at the end of the day, college football is a business.
I would tell them, work 100 hours in a week.
Yeah.
And work for $7 an hour.
Yep.
And don't look for another job. Let's see how far, and let's see how much you like it.
Yeah,
you ain't getting paid that much.
Right. You letting your teammates down when you put your 2 weeks in and then don't show.
Yeah,
and then the general manager is forced to cover your damn shift. Message.
Yeah, Yeah, it's like this. Like, you complain too if you felt like you
Mm,
was being underpaid and you were doing good, and
for
you
sure.
know, anybody like, yeah, like, some people need to realize people don't really care about
Right,
that. But yeah,
right.
it's like, yeah, you be in that situation and
And then
you play football, you get hit
right,
20 plus times a
right.
game, risking
You put your
CTE, you risking your
you
health
put
and
your
everything
life on
like
the line.
that. Uh,
What people piss me off at is they think money is relative. Oh well,
yeah.
for this amount of money,
Also,
I
200K
would.
isn't a lot. It's a lot, but it's not a
Yeah,
lot.
right.
It's a
No,
lot
it's
in
not
one
a lot.
sum, but
But
throughout a
you
year,
see
it's
it when
not.
players like hold out in the NFL or something like that. Well, they're getting this type of money. I mean, I would go do that for that. It's not relative, bro. You haven't put the man hours into the sport, the one on ones, the workouts, the bloods, the sweats, the tears that these players have put in this sport. That it's not relative at all. And I think that's a lot of people toxic trait saying, "Oh well, for this amount of money, I would do this." You can't do it, because if you could have done it or you would have done it, and you just haven't. So, I thought this was must see TV yesterday. I stay. I'm off of Twitter a lot more than I used to be. I don't know when the disconnect happened with Twitter, but I don't know. I'm just not
I'm on
on
Twitter.
it.
I don't interact as much as what I used
Yeah,
to when I was
yeah,
like
yeah.
years ago and stuff like that.
I feel like I don't know,
People are
like
idiots, so
yeah, I feel like there's a lot more bot activity that happens on
there
Twitter,
is.
and it's frustrating. But because I feel like the storylines of this season are just as good as the 2022 season when we remember the storylines from that year. But it's just like I just feel like the app has changed so much,
It has because
and
Elon's.
in that time.
It's become more ultimate team, my team, whereas it's pay
Yeah,
to win. It's like
yeah,
you verify, you get your account view more.
right.
You get first in the replies and stuff like
Engagement farming is so
bro.
it's
I
so
will see
broken,
people,
bro.
KT. I will see it's this dude footballism on Twitter. He
Uh,
posts the same 5 freaking football clips every
right,
freaking week. I
right,
don't want to hear about how much I don't care how underrated freaking Percy Harvin was
right,
10 times a year.
right.
That's why I blocked dude. I was like, bro, I
Yeah, the
like
engagement farming. So, like I said, that's just kind of drove me away from the app. And I'm on the app really, just because of the football list I have. So I try to go through it, and then it's a political year, and then
my page
it's
is
the
filled with politics.
it's
My page is actually just
bad.
filled with like jokes and stuff. So
Yeah,
just jokes in football and basketball.
me and Fuss was having a conversation the other day while I had a cigar and I had Oktoberfest, which is one of my favorite beer, and we were just talking about like how like brainwashed Democrats and Republicans are. Like they're so brainwashed they can't even see it from the other's perspective. Like there's things I like on the Republican platform, and the same thing with
Mhm.
Democratic platform. But the things I hate from both perspectives. But I'm not brainwashed, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like like. I don't know. It's just
Now,
stupid. So that's why I hate Twitter and
somebody in public asks me who I'm voting for, then I'd be
yeah.
like Kanye West. Just
Yeah,
I just
I'm doing it
joke
right
around
now.
with him.
I'm voting for Jalen Wilson for president, bro. I'm doing it right now. You're
Yeah,
not even on.
you might vote for myself.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I
I'm gonna put
don't.
Moon to the MFN vibes. That's what I'm voting for
Yeah,
president. Like
I'm like, but I would honestly, yeah,
I
I don't participate in politics conversation for real.
dude, I could care less, and they'll talk
Yeah.
about it on my job. I'm like, yo, like both are brainwashed. All
Hey,
parties are
you
looking at
watched
me
that
like
game
I'm
last
stupid.
night? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't care about that shit. Like I live in a bubble. My bubble's protected. That's all I care about. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't care about nothing else, man. But it's been a fun episode, even though we was late. Not we, I was late. You know what I'm saying? So anything else you want to add to anything we talked about today? Or any
Um.
expectations you can see for week 5? I feel like week 5 is going to be the week of transparency. Week 5 is going to be the week that we start to really see the contenders separate themselves from the pretenders.
Yeah. Why hasn't Notre Dame's backup got more playing time? Like I checked. Like he had 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions last year when he got to play for Sam Hartman. What was his name? Like Steve Agnelli? But Riley Leonard is out here playing.
He was the big fish.
He ain't that big.
They
Pause.
went they went and got him. They paid a pretty penny for him. He better work out.
He ain't that damn good.
But
where he
maybe
can just, oh yeah, yeah. You know what?
maybe Marcus
One
Freeman
touchdown,
got to
two interceptions. I'm a
change
running
his
back.
approach. Keeps
Like,
right. He keeps going to the ACC, trying to find guys to bring to Notre Dame. Maybe he's changed his approach. Uh, but yeah, that is I don't know.
yeah. You see D Rose was hard.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw that post. It
You
made it.
all Celtics been. Oh wait, what you gonna say?
I said it just made me think about what could have been. Um, Him and Michael Beasley. I think Michael Beasley is one of the most talented players to ever touch a basketball, to ever step foot in the NBA, and the average person will not know how dominant that kid truly was. Like, have you ever heard the stories about when he was with the Heat and
Yeah,
how he would go
yeah.
check LeBron James in practice, and LeBron James would be like, Mario Chalmers is checking me today. Like this is Mike. Everybody, people who know how much of a dog Michael Beasley
Yeah,
is.
but some people are like one-on-one players. Some people are like
Yeah,
more
yeah,
team
yeah.
5-on-5 type basketball
I think
players.
his
So,
skill set was a little advanced.
like
He
if
got,
it's
he
like the
got
big
slender in the
three.
NBA because he was bigger in college.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah. So seeing, I think about those two players. And I think about wow, what really could have been with Derrick Rose, just how explosive he was, how quick his first step was, and some people will look at his career. But what his career averages? He averaged what 17 points per game, or
he
maybe
played
around like
15 years, and
yeah.
that's
He played
crazy considering the fact that his injury history.
yeah. He had a long career. He was super aggressive. I think I saw something on Gilbert Arena show where they were kind of comparing his game and John Morant's game.
Did you see you ever watch the clip where Brandon James was talking about no one in high school could check me, blah blah blah,
Uh,
no like da da da, and then
uh-uh.
like people like had like the little clip of Derrick Rose making him cry in high school because Derrick Rose and them be kill.
Oh no, that's hilarious. Yo, that show was toxic. You know who's funny as hell? Rashad McCants. Granted, Rashad McCants was cold at North Carolina, bro. But that man be forgetting that he wasn't that cold in the
Yeah.
NBA, bro. Like he just remember at North Carolina when he was the man, dog. Because he really was the man at North Carolina. He was a bucket in college. Yet he had that mid range game, and that's when analytics first started creeping into the NBA. And the
Mm-hmm.
mid-range shot started to be devalued. So I think that's why his game didn't translate. And I believe he was day one of the Kardashians as,
Yeah, but
as
also
well.
like if I'm not mistaken, I think he like turned down a contract or something like that, and he
He
like
did.
it was like rumors that he just didn't really care too much about
Nah,
effort.
nah, nah. He did, but he
He was
was
kind of lazy.
he was cold at North Carolina though. I couldn't
Uh,
stand him when he was at North Carolina, man. Because being a Duke fan, just how dominant he was, and yeah, that North Carolina team was really good.
Yeah, I've been seeing the Celtics flex their championships. I saw JB had his three trophies. I saw Tatum have his trophy and his gold medal. Derek White and Drew Holiday, Tatum all flexed with the gold medal and stuff like that. Got like the little 18 patch on the back of the jersey.
Yeah,
Lakers can't have that.
the league better watch out for Jason Tatum this year.
Yeah, I think I think it was Al Horford. He said like, yeah, he's been showing up like 2 hours to practice every day
Mhm.
early and so like
Yeah, he was
usually when I'm
disrespected.
coming in at 8, he's
He was
leaving.
disrespected. And not only was he disrespected, JB was disrespected. And then you troll JB even more by having Derek Wright join the team. Like, I, I'm not betting against the
Grant, I
Celtics.
don't think JB's mad at Derek White for that. So
No, he's not mad at Derek White, but like, I just feel like that was just, USA basketball. Like, I don't
being
know.
like, LOL, we don't want to add
Right,
you. We're gonna
right,
add your
right.
teammate.
How do you not? How you aren't aware that one of the best players in all of basketball didn't get any playing time, bro?
He just won Finals MVP.
Right.
Like he
The,
averaged
the,
10
dis-
points per
the
game.
disrespect is real. It's so real. But it is what it is. But because
Yeah.
I think this is like one of those weird years where other than the dream team, and even what Michael Jordan was probably just hitting the age 30 around then. We got what LeBron almost 40, Steph Curry mid 30s, KD mid 30s. We seen a bunch of older
KD
players.
might be late 30. KD like
Yeah, he
37.
might be later. Yeah, because
He
he
like 37, I think.
yeah. So yeah, he's in his late 30s now, and
I think Steph is 35.
yeah,
Yeah, so he's mid-30s.
yeah. So
Kawhi is
that's
30, what, 2, but his
right.
legs is like 45.
That man walking 50. Yeah, so that's yeah, so I don't know. Jason Tatum was disrespected, so it'll be interesting to see what the Celtics do this year. Granted, I'm not gonna watch much NBA, but I will be watching a lot of college basketball though. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so Yeah, other than that, ain't really much been going on for real.
Yeah.
Shakur and Javante. No, it was not Shakur. It was Tank and Devin Haney had like a back and forth a couple days ago on Twitter.
Devin Haney, look me in the eye when I say this. I know your fight ain't count, but we saw it. we can't unsee it. We saw you get your ass whooped. What's the
3
one thing you
times
got?
like that.
What's the one thing you gotta watch? That man wasn't watching the left hook the entire time, and that's the one thing you gotta watch from the homie. He did, man. Tate will beat the dog crap out. I don't want to see it. I would rather see. I would rather
Tank
see.
would not come out, I think, by like 5th round.
Yeah. I would rather see Haney and Shakur Stevenson. But I think a lot of people are just fed up with Shakur Stevenson because he can't. He's not a knockout artist.
Yeah.
But people who love boxing love Shakur Stevenson because he's such a great boxer. I think he's in a class by himself when it comes to just pure boxing. He doesn't have knockout power, and that's okay. That's not the worst thing in the world.
Not every fighter is Tank or Mike Tyson.
I mean, he got trolled this last fight. Everybody was having the snooze button. You saw people walking out of the event, bro. Who paid good money to watch.
Floyd didn't have crazy. Now Floyd, I think he could have had knockout power, but I don't think he tried to knock people out. But Floyd didn't have crazy knockout power.
Floyd was an amazing counterpuncher, though. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when he caught people, it was just from counter, or like you remember the Ortiz fight. Ortiz trying to go like this and his hands up at all times.
Wait, all right, you talking about when after he headbutted them, they hugged and he boom.
Yeah, pieced them up. I was in Buffalo for that fight, matter of fact.
That was actually my first Floyd Mayweather fight that I watched like live.
For real? Yeah, that was actually the week I saw Buffalo play the Raiders. It's the only Buffalo Bills game I've been to. I'm gonna think about hitting up Foots. See if you want to go to this Bills Ravens game Sunday night. But Maryland got strict gun laws, and I don't want to go into that stadium without my gun. Yeah, I just don't want to do that. But hey, man, so I always like to say there are no more victories in the sport that survive and advance. That's why college football is the greatest regular season. Until next time, y'all already know what it is. One time for the one.